Hello, good morning all.
Good
Hello,
morning.
good morning. Farhad Derki from MSB Hedri. Hello, how is everybody?
Fine, we are all fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, doing very well.
How are the conditions there?
Things are quite good. We've opened up to a certain extent. Lockdown has been eased out for some time, but we are seeing the graph of deaths going higher after because during each time there has been a little bit of too much of non-social distancing by the public. So let's see how things turn out. We're expecting an announcement today from our National Coordination Committee.
Okay. When are you opening your school, Rafa?
In fact, we have started with our Quran classes right from today. And we'll be beginning our online classes with secular subjects from the 15th.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Good morning to everybody. Assalamu alaikum जनाब, अपने शुरू करिए.
शेख अली असगर भाई शुरू करी दो અને કેરી હો ના.
जी जनाब, जी.
हाँ.
औज़ु बिल्लाहि समील अलीम मिनश शैतानिर रजीम. बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. खुदा ताला अपना आकान मौला से ना फडल से फुल आकान उमर शरीफ ने दराज कर जो. We have all gathered here to go through a walkthrough. Together we'll go through a walkthrough for an integration between Idara MSB.NET software and the G Suite software that we are recommending that we use to conduct the online classes. So we are still expecting a bit more on our live streaming as well. Currently about 300 people have joined on the live stream, and there are about 71 people here, so around 370 people. We are expecting around 1200 as per our strength registered in the software. So we'll just start a little bit on the introduction part, because we won't be having too much time. So until we get a little bit more viewers, then we'll continue with the whole integration part that we are going to discuss right now. So what we have decided here, and with a bit of asking around the other centers that they have been conducting online classes for the last 2 months. So there are some challenges, and there are a lot of advantages as well, and we'll try to take maximum advantage from what the advantages are offering, and we'll try to tackle the challenges as much as we can. But what we have to understand is that the guidelines that have been sent from IDARA, and it was discussed very thoroughly during the orientation of those guidelines, that online teaching is not same as teaching, but online. It's not the same thing. And as you all must have gone through the guidelines, what we have noticed is the majority of the work that we are doing as teachers, even during offline classes, is not interaction with the students, but interaction with their work. the paper checking, the lesson plans, the and many other things that we do when we are not actively there in the classroom. Sayyidina Muhammad Brahmanaka had said in one bayan that if you are going to teach for 1 hour, you should prepare for 3 hours. So that's the preparation part. When we are not in front of the students, we are preparing for 3 hours. When for the 1 hour that will be presenting ourselves in front of the students. So those the 3 hours they are getting amplified and they are getting organized in during online classes. So that's what we'll be discussing, and how to make it easier. How can we make that part easier? And then we'll also discuss the online actual instructional classes that we'll be taking. If you have gone through the guidelines in the pre-primary section and the secondary section, you will notice that 70% of the work is with the submissions and with the classwork and homework that the students will be doing, and about 30% is our interaction with the students in an online instructional way. And in the primary section, it's about 45 to 50%. 50% is instructional and 50% is the assignments and everything else. So we'll be going through all those parts, and we'll be beginning from the steps that we had sent earlier to the school admin. So I think about 50% of the people have joined. So we'll go ahead, and we'll also keep a recording of this for online viewing. So all the people, some of the centers I have been told are have already started their classes, so they are interacting with the teachers as we speak, with the students as we speak. So that is why they might not be able to attend this session, and we'll keep an online recording for them. So we'll just get on with the first part of our presentation, and that's the school admin part. What the school admin has to do, and this is the website that they will need to go to for majority of their work. That is idaramsb.net/new idara. Okay, so the first thing that they have to do, all the teachers and all the other staff members should also understand this, because if they are facing any problem with any technical problem that they are not able to see any of the students, or they are not getting added, the root cause might be lying somewhere here. So if the teachers also understand this, they'll be able to raise their query to the concerned person. They'll know who to tell in order to self-solve that query. So the first point is verify students. To verify the students, the school head can verify the students from their login. As we'll just see here, we'll just log in with and 1 second. The school heads can verify the students from ID card management, verify student. Okay, all the students will be displayed to them. If they are verified, the status will show that it's verified, as you can see over here. And if they are not verified, they can be verified from they can be filtered according to their classes, and the verification can be done by clicking on the pencil icon over here on the extreme right. When they'll click on the button, if they have already verified the data for this student last year, the data will already be there, and they just have to click on verify. If there are any changes in the email addresses or anything else, they can change it, and they can click on verify, and it will be verified. The student has already been verified, so I won't be doing it again. And this is how the school heads will be able to verify the students, and the class teachers will also be able to verify this their class students. But what needs to be done first from the school admin part is the teachers need to be assigned classes. So in teachers settings, this is the school head page again. In teachers settings, as you can see here, the classes, there are classes and there are teachers that have been assigned to those classes, assigned teachers to class. And here the teachers need to be assigned to their, one second, as class teachers. So they'll be able to verify the students as well, and class Murakibin will also be able to verify their students if assign Murakibin to class. And here Murakibin class can be assigned as class Murakibin, and they'll be able to verify the students. So that's the first step, that the student verification needs to be done, and this is something that will be need to be done every year as the data changes for the students every year. And it doesn't take much time if the teachers are putting in their time, because they have to verify like 20 to 40 students, and that takes around 20 minutes, 25 minutes if all the data has been collected earlier. So that's the first step, that the students need to be verified. Once the students have been verified, then the school admin has to check if the teachers have at msbinstitute.com accounts. So this is the school head login again, and when the school head goes to this user login, user management, they'll get a whole list of all the staff members that are there. The staff management, Murakibin users, and then user list. User list has all the staff, and they can just type in here msbinstitute.com. So that will filter the list with all the MSB Institute addresses that there are there. So here out of 50, 43 teachers have at MSB Institute addresses mapped with their ITS numbers, mapped with their accounts. Another 7 teachers still need to create their accounts. They can also export this in Excel. As you can see on the extreme right top here, there is an Excel button. This list can be exported as Excel, and it can be managed, and the teachers can be asked to create their at MSB Institute accounts. So that's the next part that we'll get to, that how the teachers are supposed to create their email addresses. So we'll just go back to a teacher's account, and all the teachers have this is a typical teacher's account open here, and all the teachers on their dashboards have these 2 correspondence. Minimum these 2 correspondences are there for all the teachers. One is tickets, school management software, and one is email address registration. So the teacher needs to go to the email address registration, read these guidelines very carefully, and then according to these guidelines, they can enter a suggested what they prefer, a username that they prefer as an at msbinstitute.com address, and they just have to save that, and they'll be getting a reply here itself. As you can see on the left hand side, in correspondence management, there is correspondence inbox. Here is where the request that is being sent will be displayed over here in your personal account. There is also an official inbox where all the official correspondences will be sent, but this is a personal request. This is to create a personal at msbinstitute.com address, so it will reflect in the personal inbox. And here we'll just go to another account that already has requested, so it will be easier. Okay. Okay, so here you can see that this teacher had requested for an email address, and she has got a reply here as well, because it's unread still. I'll just go through. Okay, she had requested for an email address, and this reply she has got here, that her address has been created and this is its password. Okay, so this is how the teachers are supposed to create their email addresses. Now, during the last 2 weeks, we have got about a total of about 2,500 queries and official on the module itself. But out of those 2,500, around 1,000 have been about their passwords, that they need to reset their passwords, or they need to they have forgotten their passwords and they want their password again. So what the teachers can do is, first of all, they'll need to raise the ticket. As we had shown earlier, there are two ways, two correspondences here. There is a ticket and there is an email address. So in the tickets here, they can raise a ticket that they have forgotten their password, or they need to reset their password, and their password will be reset. But before that, they can just go and try on any of the Google platforms, and there is a forgot password button there. So if they have an email address in their ITS, that email address will be set as their recovery password, and they'll be able to recover their password. I'm sorry, I'm already logged in. As you can see here, there is an there is a forgot password button over here, and when they'll click on the forgot password button, this is the first question that is being asked, because it's an at msbinstitute.com account. It's a G Suite account that's been registered for primary schools and secondary schools. So according to their documentation, they are not allowing at schools that have been registered as primary or secondary schools to set a recovery password, recovery email or recovery phone number on their own. But we are able to do it from the backend. So what we have done is, if there is an email address in your ITS account, we have taken that as a recovery email in your G Suite account. So just click on try another way, and if there is a recovery address already set, you will be able to reset your password here itself. But if it's not there, you can raise a ticket to reset the password as shown earlier, and then we'll ask you for a recovery password, for a recovery email in the ticket, and you can share an alternate email that you have that is not a G Suite account, and we'll set that as your recovery email. So in future, you will be able to reset your passwords on your own. But that is the only way that we could find where you will be able to, you need to raise a ticket. If there is no recovery option, you will need to raise a ticket. Okay, so we'll move on to the next point now. The third point for the school admin that the school admin has to do is to appoint a G Suite admin. Most of the schools, 20 schools, have already appointed their G Suite admin. So this will I'll just go through this fairly quickly. as a school head, in your dashboard, there are lots of this correspondences. In there, just look for G Suite admin, and in G Suite admin, you'll be able to type in the ITS ID of the staff member that you want to appoint as a G Suite admin, and an email address that can an email address that is an at msbinstitute.com email address, and you have access to that email address. That will be given the G Suite access on gsuite.google.com. So this is how you have to submit this, and once it's been submitted, you will be getting G Suite instructions, as well as the G Suite admin that has been created. He'll be receiving instructions on his own as well. Okay, so that's how the G Suite admin needs to be appointed. Now, the other tasks that need to be taken care of before you start online classes from the school admin point of view is you will need to prepare a class and group list. How many classrooms are there, and how many groups within each class are there. For example, as per the guidelines, there are a different number of groups that are allowed per class. So you will need to segregate your classes into different groups. So nursery, how many groups, LKG, how many groups, and you will need to prepare a list for that. Another thing that you'll need to do is you will need to prepare a teacher name and their email address list. That can be done from the user management. We already discussed that. You can export it in Excel, and you will be able to filter it according to the at MSB Institute email addresses. Then you'll need to prepare the timetables, and the fourth part is you'll need to notify the parents and the students about their timetables, and that the classroom.google.com will be at the center of all communication. They need to go to classroom.google.com. That will be their base, and from there they'll be able to communicate everything, and they'll be able to navigate anywhere that they want within the Google G Suite package that we have. So those are the two things that need to be communicated with the parents and the students. That where you have.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Can we just go through the presentation, and we'll take the questions at the end of once the presentation is done. We'll take all the questions once it's done. Okay. Just note down your question so it's not left out, and we'll come back to it. Okay, now that's the school admin part is done up to an extent. They'll just need to do it regularly. The communication part, especially with the parents, that's where the school admin will really need to set up a very rigid system, very strong and robust system, where they'll be able to communicate with the parents regarding any issues that they face for online classes. It's pretty comprehensive. All you need, you can do this from Google Drive itself. If you have files on